Hello, and welcome to the first tutorial of learning C# for Unity game development. So this series will teach you the basics of C# so that you can start making your own games, and you can start scripting in Unity. So we'll be using Unity in this tutorial, so the first step will be to download that, and then once you have done so, and I'll include a link in the description, so once you've done that, go ahead and open Unity, and you'll be met with this window right here. So this is like our projects and stuff. So let's go ahead and make a new one. And we can name this whatever we want. I'll just name it C#. And then go ahead and select 2D. It doesn't really matter much for this project because we'll just be learning how to script. And 2D will just be easy to work with, I guess. So here we go. Now we are loading up. And here we are. So here's Unity. So I'll give you a little look around. So right here we have our scene manager. So this is a list of all the game objects in the scene. And game objects are pretty much really everything in our game. So we might have our player and enemies and chests and projectiles of sorts. So Unity already gives us a camera so we can actually see what's going on. So that's nice. And then here we have our scene window, and this is pretty much a preview of our game. So that's what that is. And then right here we have information about our currently selected object in our scene manager. And don't worry about all this right now, we're not going to be working with that. And down here we have our console window. So if we tell the game to print out certain things, they'll show up here. And also this will tell us what's wrong with our game, such as bugs, or not necessarily bugs, but syntax errors and stuff like that. So that's for scripting. And then here we have our project window. So in here we have all our assets. So things like images and sounds and animations and all that cool stuff. So we'll go ahead and start by creating a C# script. And you can kind of think of scripts as the brains of our game. So we can name this whatever we want. I'll just name it script very generically. And then it's important to attach a script to a game object in the scene. So that's what I did here. So I selected the main camera, and then I dragged and dropped the script onto it. So now when the camera starts up in the game, it'll run our script. And the camera loads up when the game loads up, pretty much. So let's go ahead and double-click script so we can take a look at it. So here we go. Now that it's nice and loaded up for us, we can take a look around. So as you can see, it's already generated some code for us. So that's pretty nice of it. So up here we have our using statements. And what these are doing is they're fetching libraries that contain certain commands that we'll use in our scripting. And then here we have our class declaration. So this is just making our class exist, pretty much. And you can kind of think as classes like the soldiers of our program. So maybe we'll have scripts like, or classes like player behavior or enemy behavior or things like that, so we can manage data and move things around. And then Unity auto-generates these two functions here. So what this does is it runs a block of code when the object that the script is attached to starts up. So as I've told you, the main camera starts up when the game starts up. So this code pretty much just runs right away. And then update runs every frame of the game. So like, you know how you're playing games and maybe your friend says their FPS is at like 15 because they got a bad computer? That's how many frames are being run per second. And every frame, an object will do something. So it might move, or it might attack, or it might, who knows? It's a lot of games out there. So yeah. So we'll just be working with start. So when we write code, we're going to put it in here. So yeah, now that you know the basics of our environment, I'll end this episode, and in the next episode, we'll be looking at variables. Those are dead useful, so that'll be pretty cool. So, until then.